Hi guys and welcome to my channel. This week I have had a very poorly baby. So I thought this would be a really good opportunity to show you some tips and tricks on how to cope when your baby is sick. Yeah. So we are just on the tail end of a mega bug with Max. I think maybe he had a flu type thing because we had sickness, diarrhea, disturbed night's sleep, temperature, the works. So in today's video, I'm going to share 5 hacks with you that will mainly help you cope if your baby or younger toddler has a sickness bug, what to do with them if they start throwing up, how to protect your home, and how to care for them and you. Obviously, I am not a doctor, I'm not giving you any medical advice. I am just a mum of one, and this is kind of just my experience of dealing with sickness. So the first time Max got sick, we were highly unprepared, to say the least. I have flashbacks of me sitting in the middle of the kitchen floor, like holding Max covered in sick and some poo, waiting for Andy to come back from the shops because I just didn't know what to do. So I'm hoping that I can help save you from the same fate with some tips and tricks that we've learnt along the way. So my first tip is to get them to the bathroom. The best thing you can do when they're being sick is to get them into the bath. When it first happened to us, my instinct was to kind of comfort him, like while he's being sick, and hold on to him. And I kind of thought going and sorting him out and taking his clothes off was like mean, because that was, you know, because he was like in so much discomfort. But then when you really think about it, actually, do you want to hug when you're being sick? I'm thinking, not so much. So actually just taking action to kind of sort them out and minimize the damage and make sure that they're set in a safe position when they're being sick is actually more important than comforting them at that stage. At this age, when you're talking about babies or very young toddlers, there is no way you can get them to be sick into a bowl, and you usually don't have really any warning at all until it's happening. So that is now the first thing. Like, as soon as they start being sick, just pick them up, take them straight to the bath, get them into the bath. Then if they're being sick, you're not then worrying about where they're being sick, or whether they're getting it over themselves, because they're kind of contained then. Generally, getting their clothes off, getting the shower on, get them clean, okay, make sure they've stopped being sick. Then once you've got them changed and sorted out, put them into a fairly safe sick area, which I'll talk about in a minute. What I will say too is that it's really important to get them to drink water. And in terms of food, we go for the BRAT acronym of banana, rice, applesauce and toast. And I think the trick is to just put these in front of them and don't necessarily encourage them to eat, because then that way, if they're ready to eat, they will, rather than you encouraging them to do it and them eating before they're ready, and it can then upset their stomach, and you know, then you'll be dealing with some more sick. Then go and deal with the area that needs to be cleaned. If we're talking about carpet, upholstery, or a mattress, we had a blinder one time where Max was sick on our bed, which has a mattress protector, and because it was like a bit of a pool of sick, it was like very milky sick, we pulled back the undersheet and the protector, but then didn't move Max away. We were like holding him near it, and then he was sick again on the mattress. So don't do that. Learn from my mistakes and take them straight to the bath, because the likelihood is if they've been sick once, they're pretty likely to be sick again. For cleaning, what I usually do is wipe the area with a damp cloth or a sponge. This is to kind of get, like, bunch up like any solid pieces of sick so you can get that off the carpet. Then make the cloth damp again and wipe it over so that you're picking up any more kind of residue that you can easily get just with a wet cloth. Next step is I use this Dr. Beckman, not Beckham, David Beckham's a carpet cleaner, is Dr. Beckham carpet stain remover. I just quite like this one because it's got the sponge and brush, so you've got it kind of all in one. It's nice and easy. You can just kind of get it on there, scrub it in. Leave that then to dry and hoover it, but it doesn't always completely get the smell away. So what I then do is make up a little Dettol solution, because I feel like, you know, just for sanitary reasons and for not spreading germs, and wet that kind of into the area. And then I take some bicarbonate of soda or baking powder. I don't know if it matters either which one, but I've used both and they both seem to do a good job. And sprinkle that over, and that really helps to like draw out any smell. And don't know if it helps with the stain. Usually the stain's kind of gone by then because the carpet cleaner is like fairly effective. And then just hoover it, and that does a really good job to get it all off. The other thing I do is you can fill cups with white wine vinegar. If it really smells, which Max's sick smelt disgusting this time. Never smells good, but it was particularly like pungent this time. And this helps to neutralize the odor in the air. It does a really good job. Don't know how it does it, but vinegar is very powerful. So yeah, that's another really good one. So once you know that your child is sick and likely to be vomity, my next tip is to, wherever you're going to put them, make sure it's covered. Put them on something that you can actually pick up and put in the wash, because it's just much easier. Like, even if it's like, you know, if you want them to be like comfortable on a nice soft blanket, if they're sick on there, you can pick them up, put them in the bath, and then when you come back to sort stuff out, you've really just got to pick up a blanket and throw it in the wash. So it's much easier than having to, you know, wipe things down, or, you know, hopefully you're reducing how much you have to sort of clean. So my next hack is one by Emily Norris. Her channel is brilliant. She has loads of mum hacks, and she's just super cute. So this one is about layering their mattresses. So you put a mattress protector, then an undersheet, then a mattress protector, undersheet, and you could probably do another layer if you wanted. And this is so helpful, like in the night. So if your child is sick, it means that you can just take off those top two layers, and then you've got it all set already underneath. You don't have to start scrabbling around to go and put another undersheet on and mattress protector. So it just makes things a lot easier. So that's a really good one. The next hack is to let them rest, but not necessarily sleep. I think we made this mistake when Max was much younger, of when he got poorly, we would put him down to sleep. Like, we would actively take him to his bed, put him down to sleep, let him sleep for a lot longer than he would normally do in the day. And then we would just kind of end up paying for it at night time. And especially when he was getting over the illness, he would then have been completely reset to be going to sleep during the day and then not sleeping at night. And we'd have to kind of break that again. So, I mean, they definitely need more rest and probably a little bit more sleep, you know, when they've got like a really nasty bug. But I don't think they necessarily need to be sleeping all the time. So actually, you know, if they need sleep, they're gonna fall asleep anyway. So what I would do more is put him maybe on the sofa, put blankets around him, make him nice and comfy, and usually put something on for him on the TV. There's a lot of rules at the moment about how much screen time kids should have. I think the recommendation for children under 2 is no hours of TV time, which I don't totally adhere to. I try to, like, when he's fully well, like, not have the TV on an awful lot. But I think when they're poorly, for me, that just goes out the window. And he loves Hey Dougie, so that has been on a lot in the last week. And also I feel like he's not going to be playing and you know, developing his mind and stuff like while he's that sick. He's really just going to be sat, and I think if he's that miserable, I just want him to have something that's going to make him feel better.
go, dancing.
My fifth tip is to make sure that you are up to date with the NHS guidelines for the different illnesses. Things like sepsis, meningitis, anything that involves a rash like impetigo, or hand, foot and mouth. It's really good to check those things so that you know what signs to look out for. One thing I do when Max is really poorly like this is I do check on him a lot when we put him down to sleep. This time, because he was really congested, and we'd also had him being sick, so I wasn't concerned. Like, he didn't go to the doctors this time, and I think that's only through experience. I think maybe if this had happened when he was much younger, I probably would have taken him to the doctors, and I would say, if you're ever in any doubt, like, just take them. It's better to be safe than sorry. But I did want to make sure that I checked on him through the night, so I would check on him a couple of times in the evening, like literally physically go in and have a look at him and make sure he was okay. And I also set an alarm in the night, so I would go to bed about 10:30, and then I was he was waking up on some nights, but I set an alarm for about 2:30 to just go in and check on him, and then through to the morning. The other thing we have is the Angel Care baby sensor, which is a sensor that goes underneath their mattress. And once you put them down to sleep, you activate it, and it's sensing for movement. So if they stopped breathing, stopped moving, an alarm will go off, which we've had this for Max from birth, which gave me a massive amount of reassurance and was probably the only way I managed to actually go to sleep when he was first born. And I think the risks of sudden infant death syndrome do go down past 6 months when they're more mobile and able to move around, but then I just feel like I'm kind of backed up a bit that way. So yeah, that's all of my tips. I do actually have one bonus tip for you, and this is to get some rest. If you remember the saying that you had, like, when they were a tiny baby, of sleep when they sleep, obviously this isn't that's not quite, you know, how it goes as they get older, but when they're sick, it will really take it out of you as well. I am still quite tired. I've got like a twitchy eye and probably like terrible bags under my eyes, but it can be so full on, and I think it's really important to let yourself off, because, like, for me this week, Max missed a day and a half of nursery and he only goes for 2 days. So I had so much planned to do this week, and I was kind of a bit stressed before he even got sick, thinking I've got so much to do. And I think if I had carried on pushing to try and get all these things done, like when he went to bed, like carrying on and going like late into the night, I would have probably just burnt out. I came close anyway, and I think it just doesn't do you any good. It just ends up making you very tired, more emotional than normal, and then you're just not going to be present enough for looking after your baby who needs you as well. So what I'm saying is, the laundry can wait, that video that you plan to make this week can wait. Make sure that when your baby is getting better and sleeping, you are going to sleep as well. I don't mean necessarily during the day, but make sure you're getting like an early night, and catching up, because although you're not ill, hopefully not going to be ill, I'm so tired, I can't even think of what I'm saying. Oh, sorry. So what I'm really trying to say is, give yourself a bit of a break, go to bed early, don't worry about getting everything done. Yeah, so that is the end of my tips. I hope that that has been helpful for you. If you like these, let me know in the comments. Please subscribe and like my video. I still have no subscribers, but I hope somebody's watching and finding this useful. Thanks, I'm so tired. Bye.